Hey guys, I want to take a moment to get real with you and tell you a little bit about an experience I had today, but a little bit of back history. Most of you know that I've been training for an Ultra Spartan Marathon for about 5 months. And most of you know that when I work out, I usually have my headphones in or my earbuds in, and I'm listening to an audiobook or podcast. Well, today, I was listening to a playlist that I had been working on for some breathwork clients, and it was very interesting. So, second of all, I didn't want to do like build my own workout, and so I over the last week I just started doing um, the one that I've seen on Instagram so much, the military calisthenics. I was very intrigued, and honestly, the last month of the training is supposed to not be as rigorous as the first. So um, I started doing this one, and the workouts are great. Today's was labeled Pandora's Box, and I was like, let's open that. I'm not kidding. I was very excited to open Pandora's Box. So when I looked at it originally, I looked at it to see what equipment I would need. Um, and what we're doing. And so I look at it and it's like push ups and rows. And I was like, bent over rows. I was like, oh, all right. So I grabbed my weights, I grabbed my stuff, and I started doing the workout. And we're probably half the way through. And I've been doing the same type of push ups and the same rows for like 20 minutes. And I'm like, this is getting hard. The push ups mostly, the rows weren't really super hard. I mean, they were challenging, but they were nothing like the push ups. And so I started to think I could be done and go for a run. And I was getting to that point where I was ready to throw the towel in. And I just was like, oh, this is so ridiculous. Like, I swear I've done like 50, 60 push ups. This is crazy. So I'm getting ready to throw the towel in, and just a little, I guess, education on this. This specific exercise was you do your elevated push ups. Let's see, it was 12 elevated push ups. And then right after that, you do 15 bent over rows. And then you get a minute rest. And I was like, okay, I'm getting to this. I get done with my last set of bent over rows. I'm in a rest. And the song that was playing was Hold On, Pain Ends for King and Country. And I wasn't really listening to the words in the beginning because I was thinking how much I really wanted to just go run. And so it, not most people don't think like that. But anyway, so I finally stand up. I'm doing my breaths because that's when I am in my rest. I do some breathing to just bring my body back. And as I'm doing my breathing and thinking I'm going to go run, these words pop in, and I'm just going to read them here. It says, when it's hard to say amen and it doesn't go as planned, when it's more than you can stand, and it was definitely to the point where it's more than I could stand, you can hold on to me then. And then there's this long pause. And I was like, why, hello. It was like God just showed up and started talking to me. So in this long pause, I notice, and I'm not saying this to pat myself on the back, during the long pause was like, okay. And then the song continues and it says, breathe in, breathe out. I know it hurts now. Pray through the waiting. Hold on, pain ends. And I chuckled because I was like, I knew in that moment what he was telling me. And so I looked down on my phone to see if my rest period was over. And I look at my phone, and sure enough, it changes the variation of push ups. And I was like, okay. I can change push-ups. I can do different push-ups. And the funny thing is, I only had one set left. Apparently, I was supposed to be doing that variation of push-ups for a while, but anyway. So I look at my phone. I have one set of those push-ups and rows. They were a narrow push-up and then a wide row. And as I heard those words, I just kind of, I chuckled, but then it started to sink in and I started to understand a little bit more of what God was telling me. And that's why I'm sharing this with you today. It's not to shine a light on anything else other than when we get to the point where we are about to throw in the towel, we don't know that there is only potentially one set left or one more hill to climb, whatever it is. We don't know. But what we do know, or what I know, and what I hope you know, is that God will only let us struggle for so long. He knows when our breaking point is. He knew I was ready to be done with that set. I was ready to go run. And he knew that. He also knew that the frustration and anger that I've had over the last month because of some recovering has been really, really hard on me, mentally, emotionally, and physically. And that's what he was talking to me about. He wasn't just talking to me about one more set. He was telling me, Jesse, I know what you're going through, and I know when you're ready to be done and when I can step in and take the load for you. And he's there and ready to take the load for us. And so I urge you to be listening, to keep your mind and your heart and your eyes open for those moments when God says, hey, I know we're done. Hold on. The pain's almost done. Just one more set. And then I've got it. So that's why I'm on here. I don't know who needs to hear this today or tomorrow or anywhere down the line. But I do know that God's there for us and he's ready to take the load. And we do have to put in the work. We have to do those, I don't know, I think I did like 80 push-ups before that. We got to do them because that's how we get stronger. And that's how we notice when he steps into our lives. And more than anything these days, I really think we need to notice that.